let us discuss regarding users of DBMS. The first type of user will be application programmers who will design the front end design, such as designing of forms, etc. Second type of users are called as end users. Actually, the database is mainly designed for these users. They are going to getting benefit out of the database. So these people who access the database for querying and updating and generating the output. So these kind of users will be called as end users. Next type of user will be database administrator. Somebody has to manage the entire database, who all can access the database and who all are not supposed to access the database, or what part of the database has to be accessed by which group of people. Suppose in the organization you will find a different level of users, such as there will be CEOs. All information has to be given to him. There will be employees in the organization. There will be restriction for accessing of data to the employees. Not all the database is viewed by the employees, and the normal users, the clients, they may not see again most of the information. Only few information will be accessed by these people. So this maintaining or monitoring will be done by another type of user called as database administrator, who manages and controls both data and application programs. DBS ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು, database administrator. So they are responsible for scheme definition and modification. They also manages new software installation and security controls and other administration based activities. Next type of users are called as database designers. They are the people actually create the database, people who are responsible for identification and design of tables and establishing of relationship between different tables in a database. So these are the different users we can find in database management system. Next, let us see what are the different views of data organization. So files are stored in the memory area. How it is viewed? It can be viewed in two methods: physical view and a logical view. So this will say how the data is stored in the memory as it is viewed by the user. So this sort of view is called as physical view. For example, you have 10 columns in a table. So all the 10 columns has to be viewed by the user as it is stored in the memory. So this type of view is called as physical view. Another type of view is called as logical view. This is depending on the user's interest. For example, one user wants only first three columns. The next user may want to see the next three columns, and the third type of user may want to see the last four columns. So it depends on the user intention. So only certain columns are viewed or certain rows are viewed. So this sort of view is called as logical view. In the physical view, we see entire table. In the logical view, we will see only certain rows or certain columns. This is regarding different views of data organization. Now let us see regarding file organization. It says the arrangement of data in a file called as file organization. So what is file organization? Arrangement of data in a file is called as file organization. How the data is stored? Is it stored serial or sequential manner, or is it stored in random manner, or is it stored in any other manner? So this will be informed by the file organization. There are different various types of file organization. The first type of organization is called as serial, and the second type is sequential file organization. There is a bit of difference between serial and sequential. We'll cover that later. And the third type of file organization is called as direct file organization. And fourth one is indexed sequential access method. The full form is ISAM. This can be asked in the examination. Abbreviation of ISAM is indexed sequential access method. Abbreviation of ISA is different, that is industry standard architecture, whereas abbreviation of ISAM is indexed sequential access method. Now let us see one by one. First type of file organization is serial. So what happens here? Records are organized one after the another, in which records are inserted into the file in the order in which the records are inserted into the file. Right? The records are stored in consecutive memory location. The first record is stored in the first memory location. In the very next memory location, the second record is stored, irrespective of the key record value. For example, first record value belongs to 220001. Second record may not be 220002. It could be 220010 as well. It is not depending on the key value, record key. It is depending only on the memory location. It is consecutive memory location, not maybe in the certain order. Normally, transaction files, in the transaction files, we could find this type of file organization, right? And the next type of file organization is called as sequential. As I told you, there is a bit of difference between serial and sequential. In sequential also, records are stored one after the another in a consecutive memory location, but here records are stored according to the record key, like registration number. Even though records are inserted in any order, that has to be sorted in a period of time. Maybe after a day or after a month or after a week, you have to sort it. So this type of file organization is called as sequential file organization. Normally, this type of organization is very simple method of organization, very simple to understand, because memory, in the consecutive memory area, you are storing the data, and this is very useful when there are large volume of data. In that way, it will be, in that method, it will be very fast and efficient, right? And so normally it is commonly found in transaction data, right? And let us see different advantages of sequential file organization as well. The first one is the design is very simple, as I informed you before. Not a complicated method. It's not having any complicated method, or it's not having any additional software to store the record or retrieve the record. Storing of record and retrieval of record will be in a sequential manner, right? So the design is very simple. So when there are large volume of data, this method is very fast and efficient. And this method is very cheaper, because these files can be stored in magnetic tapes, which are comparatively cheap. But magnetic tapes are nowadays not available in the market. In the olden days, we used to follow this method. We used to store the files in a magnetic tapes. So these are the different advantages of the sequential file organization, as well as there are some disadvantages. So what are the disadvantages of sequential file organization? Each time any insert, update, or any delete transaction is performed, file has to be sorted. As I told you, over a period of time, it has to be sorted. So every time, whatever the transaction or whatever the updation you have made, it has to be sorted. It is a additional work to us. So that is a disadvantage. And because of sorting, it takes more time. So it will, as well as it will make the system slow. So these are the different disadvantages of the sequential file organization. In the examination, you may get this question for 5 marks. Write a note on sequential file organization. You need to explain what is sequential file organization, the definition. Normally, you will define like this: records are stored one after the another in the sequential manner. Okay, and you need to write advantages and disadvantages. Okay, anyhow, we have explained 3 advantages and 2 disadvantages. Mention those in the examination. And there is some disadvantage in the sequential file organization. So considering that disadvantage, we need to consider another type of file organization. That type of file organization is called as random file organization. See here, records or data or files are not stored not in a consecutive memory location, that may be stored whichever memory area is free. For example, let me address a memory area like 2000 is a memory address. That memory address is free, that is allocated. Next, very next memory may not be free. Maybe 3000 memory area called as 3000 is free, for example. So that memory area is allocated for the next record. So here records are not stored in sequential manner. It is stored in random manner. That is why it is called as random file organization. And even when you are fetching the data, you will fetch it directly. So in sequential file organization, suppose you would like to access the 50th record, you need to go through all the 49 records which is preceding to the 50th record. But whereas here it will be directly accessed. But how it is accessed in random file organization? So we'll be using one algorithm or called as hashing algorithm. So in the hashing algorithm, what we do is we will generate the physical address when the record value of record key is given. For example, suppose I would like to access the information or record of a particular student. Registration number is 220121. So that is a record key. So hashing algorithm will take that value 220120 or 123 whatever. So it will the algorithm performs one check. So related to 220123. So what is the physical address? It will check that. So hashing, the function of the hashing algorithm is mapping of record key to the storage area. So record key here is 220123. So I will map into physical area. So where this record is stored. So once I get the address, physical storage address, I can easily access the data. So that is why I can say random file organization is faster. Right here, predefined relationship between the key of the record and its location within the file is calculated. So it is calculated using the hashing algorithm, right? So what is see, records are stored on a disk as well as records are retrieved from the disk using hashing algorithm. So what is hashing algorithm? So you need to understand this definition as well, because this could also come in the examination. What do you mean by hashing algorithm? Simple it is. What is hashing? It is a process of transforming the key value of a record to yield an address location where the record is stored. I have explained this hashing algorithm with the example. Right? Next, what are the advantages of this? See, here no need to go through all the previous 49 records to retrieve the 50th record. That's why I can say access and retrieval of record is quick. So directly you can access it. But you are supposed to use the hashing algorithm. Through that hashing algorithm, immediately you will get the physical storage area. Once you know the physical storage area, you can get the data immediately. So it is quick and it need not to be sorted. We have seen as per sequential file organization is concerned, if any update, delete or modification is done, it has to be sorted. So here need not to be sorted, it will save our time as well. And one more advantage is it is best used for online transaction. So these are the different advantages of the random file organization. Next, let us see what are the disadvantages of the random file organization. So here, as I told you, you need to use hashing algorithm. So hashing algorithm will be the additional software. This additional software is required. Right? As per sequential is concerned, you did not use any additional software or any additional algorithm or anything, right? So, but here, this is additionally, we need to have this software. So additional software is required. That is one of the disadvantage. And the second one is it is less efficient in the storage space than sequentially organized file. Because as I told you in the previous point, additional software is required. So I need to locate this software somewhere. So I need to locate this software in the memory area. So that will be the additional memory area I'm consuming here. But in sequential, I'll not be using any such type of software. So no memory is required for this. isn't it? But here, because of additional software that has to be stored in some memory area, that's why I say it is less efficient in the storage space than sequential organized file. And here in random file organization, I'll start using magnetic disk such as hard disk, floppy disk. Nowadays, we are not using floppy disk as well, CD, DVDs, or whatever, isn't it? So that can be added into the advantage as well. Okay, so we have seen so far sequential and random file organization. But when we see that there are some advantages in sequential and there are some disadvantages in sequential. Again, there are some advantages in random file organization and disadvantages in random file organization. Considering this both advantages and disadvantages in both the file organization, we'll find something is better in sequential and something is better in random file organization. That is why the third type of file organization method came into existence. So that type of organization is called as indexed sequential access method, ISAM. You need to remember this abbreviation as well. So what happens in ISAM? So as I told you, it is a hybrid between sequential and random. So it will take the advantages of sequential and both the advantages of sequential and random. So which is what are the advantages are there in sequential that has been taken into this, and what are the advantages of random that that has been taken into this. So both the advantages are combined into indexed sequential access method. So normally I will say this is the hybrid between sequential and random file organization. So this method of file organization allows immediate access to data like a random file organization, right? So here, what happens here is how it is hybrid between sequential and random. Let me explain. Here, records are stored sequentially. So sequential method is used. So records are stored sequentially, but whenever you are accessing the data, you are following random file organization method, right? Records can be retrieved both. Actually here both the methods are possible. Normally we will retrieve in random method, but you can retrieve in sequential as well, right? So records are stored sequentially, direct access to individual records. How it is possible? So why it is called as indexed sequential? Because of the index. So what happens here is they will prepare one table. Okay, so let me explain this. Okay, so it will be like this. So just like your index you will use in practical, right? For any record, for example, so record between 1 to 100. So you will have the table here, 1 to 100 records will be stored in the memory location called as, for example, 2000. So next records will be 11 to 20. So memory address may be somewhere in memory area called as 3000. So they will maintain this table. So whenever they need to access the second record, they will directly get into this memory area. So somewhere it will be present 2000, between 2000 and 3000 maybe. You are going to fetch from there. So that's why I say whenever you are retrieving the data, the records are retrieved using a kind of random file organization method, but not exactly the same method. So here we will maintain an index. That is why it is called as indexed sequential access method. In this, it will be sequential. So 1 to 10, as I mentioned. So 1 to 10 in the sense, if you are fetching record 5, so here you will go to 2000. So it will go one by one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth record is fetched. So both the methods are used in indexed sequential access method. Now let us see what are the different advantages of ISAM. See, it provides flexibility for users who need both type of access. So as I told you before, whenever you are accessing the data, you are having the flexibility. You can access it sequentially or you can access it non-sequential, in the sense random. So both access method is available as in the case of ISAM. If you are using sequential, only sequential access method is used, or if you are using random, only random method is used. But here you can have both the methods. You're having the flexibility uh, to use both the method, sequential as well as non-sequential method. Okay, and you can find some more advantages as well. You can records can be accessed quickly, and I can say this is efficient method of processing the data comparing to previous two. Of course, as I told, it provides flexibility for users who need both type of access, sequential and non-sequential. Now, disadvantages. So here in ISCM, you need to have extra storage space and the processing time for indexing is required. As I told you, you need to have a separate record for that for indexing. So for the record storage, you need to have extra storage space that will be a burden for me. And you need to process the record, sorry, you need to process the table as well, or you need to process the index as well before accessing the data. So it requires more time to access the data. Processing time may be a bit of more in ISAM, and it does not use the storage space efficiently because not stored in random manner. Sometimes if you follow sequential manner, okay, you may not say it will use the storage space efficiently. And here additional hardware and software are required for indexing purpose, right? You have to search for address, you have to search for a group of address, right? So additional hardware and softwares are used in this, and this software or hardware will be expensive. So these are the different disadvantages of the indexed sequential access method.